Welcome back and welcome to this next video. It's going to be an exciting one. It's literally finding out how to resolve those internal conflicts and placing connection with yourself as the highest priority. Now, why is that important? Well, as you found out in the first video, most people are building businesses based on fear, based on scarcity, based on lack, trying to fill a void within themselves that says, I need to be enough, I need to be worthy. And what we're going to explore here is exactly the reasons why. Because if you're in the trap of figuring out what the right way is to do something, or you're trying to find a particular strategy and you're using it from a place of certainty and a place of safety, what you're cutting off is a lot of your creativity, and you're cutting off who you are. And that's why I love diving deep into this work, is because what we're going to explore is who you are, who you really are. Resolving those patterns that are holding you back, resolving those patterns that cause a lot of the fears, doubts, and frustrations on this business journey. And so, in order to find out how to resolve these conflicts, in order to find out where these conflicts are coming from, we really need to understand that in our childhood, we really only have one fear. As we're growing up, well before our first memory, we have one fear, and that is, if I'm not loved, I'm not going to survive. If I'm not loved physically, if I'm not looked after, I won't be able to survive. So that's an unconscious pattern that happens, and when we grow up, we develop strategies, ways of being, things we need to do, who we think we need to be in order to be enough so that we're worthy of that love. We're worthy of the love that is going to mean our very survival. And there are many patterns we pick up, right? People like me, I pick up the pattern of being funny, for example. I grew up and I learned the strategy that if I'm funny and I make people laugh, all of a sudden I feel enough, which triggers the unconscious pattern in my brain that says if I'm enough, I'm worthy of that attention and love, and I'll survive. One of the biggest patterns, and I'm sure you've seen yourself, is that when we are evolving, when we're growing up as children, one of the ways in which we attain love, consciously or unconsciously, is through achievement, making something happen, doing well. And when we do that, when we do well, we achieve, we create something, we get that attention, that love to our brain that says, this is the game of life. I can now survive. That's why these days, when you're in business and you have an obstacle between you and your success, it can feel like life and death. It can trigger that fight-flight response. Why is that? Because to the unconscious mind, it is survival. And so do you see now how resolving these conflicts that are coming up are vital to accessing this creativity and this flow and alignment and abundance where your byproduct is your business? So one thing we can understand is that when these fears arise, when these patterns of doubt or worry or overwhelm or stress come up, you can almost imagine like it's your 5-year-old self. This 5-year-old that believes something needs to happen. I need to be a certain way in order for me to feel enough, in order for me to feel worthy, in order for me to attain that love that to my 5-year-old self means survival. And a beautiful piece of this is that consciously or unconsciously, you've opened up a safe space already. You've opened up a safe enough space for these patterns to emerge, these fears and these patterns of doubt and worry and stress to emerge. That's why they're coming to your conscious awareness. And they're coming up so they can transcend, right? So they can transcend. What a lot of people do, this is probably 95% of the population, and more so in entrepreneurs, is that when these fears arise, when they come up, when this 5-year-old's coming up that has a particular belief, we push them down. How many times have you felt fear or stress or overwhelm or worry and distracted yourself from it? Or you have really started to fight with it, causing some resistance. You avoid this emotion when you distract yourself, right? Even if you avoid the whole situation of why this will arise. And you resist this emotion when you think it's wrong. when you think it needs to be fixed, when you think you should be feeling something else. There's that resistance to what is. And remember this, all fear will exist in moments when you don't want it to be there. But all fears, all patterns will transcend in moments when they're seen, when they're heard, when they're understood, when they're actually loved unconditionally. So in order to do this for yourself, I want you to imagine this pattern that's emerging, almost like your 5-year-old self comes up to you in a park, right? Imagine it's a stranger's 5-year-old that comes up to you in a park. And this 5-year-old, you can see there's love in their eyes, but they're also very scared. Let's say they don't know where their parents are and they feel scared, they feel lost, they feel uncertain. Would you tell that 5-year-old, go away until you feel better? Or it's wrong you're feeling this way, or you should be feeling something different, or you need to be fixed? Is that something you'd say to the 5-year-old? Of course not. But unconsciously or consciously, this is what we're telling our internal 5-year-olds when they're wanting to be expressed, when they're wanting to be seen, when they're wanting to be heard and understood. What you would normally do to that 5-year-old in the park is just be the safe space for that 5-year-old to feel whatever they want to feel. You would be that loving, safe space for them to express, right? For them to feel comfort. And you wouldn't need to hug them in order to change them, right? You wouldn't hug them so they would leave. You would just be that safe space for them. And this is the opportunity you have when these patterns are arising within yourself. So one little challenge in order to kick this off is to, instead of resisting these emotions, one thing you can try is to breathe with it and allow it to be there. Actually welcome it in your body. Welcome the fears, the doubts, and the frustrations. Now you may want to pause this video at certain moments when you feel the need to, but for a moment, let's just feel what it feels like to have that anxiety or fear or stress or worry. What does it feel like in your body when you have that uncertainty? Maybe it's around money or clients or the future. Maybe it's the stress of the past, whatever it may be, whatever's coming up for you. And just welcome it. The same way you would welcome that 5-year-old. Just welcome it. Allow it to come in. Realize, where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your head, your chest, your stomach, your legs? Where is it? Where do you experience it? Now you may want to pause this video, and what you want to do is be with it and describe in detail what it feels like. It may feel heavy, may feel empty, may feel dull, may feel sharp, may just feel pulsating or moving, whatever it is. Allow it, welcome it without any resistance and without any judgment. Just allow it to be there and describe with it in detail. So you can pause the video and do that now. Now what you may find is that as you describe this, you're describing it means that you're not that emotion. You're the one observing the emotion. You're the one that's there observing the emotion. That's how you know you're not that emotion. You're not that pattern. You're the one that's holding the safe space for it. And what that also means is the emotion's emerging. This 5-year-old within you is emerging so it can be seen, because it feels like you're safe enough to express. And so when you provide the safe, loving space for that 5-year-old to be there, and that emotion of fear or worry or doubt and stress to be there, there's actually a layer of love. It wouldn't be expressed otherwise. So you can be the space to feel this love, to feel the fear, to feel the stress, to allow this 5-year-old to express whatever needs to be expressed. And you can actually start to see this 5-year-old for what it is. It's just a pattern that says I'm scared. It says I'm worried, I'm not safe, I need to be loved. And some amazing things can happen. First of all, you're not loving this side of you so that it will leave. You're loving this side of you so that it can be there and it can be heard. And what you may find is that this pattern will start to transcend in moments when you don't actually need it to leave. In moments when you actually love that side of you, it can actually feel safe to transcend. And this is the power. It can take some time. Be patient with it. My question would be, are you willing to feel this fear as you go throughout your day? Are you willing to feel this fear and this sensation in all of its physical repercussions if it means connecting with yourself at a deeper level? Would you be willing to feel this all day, every day, if it means connecting with yourself? If the answer is yes, then you'll start to feel it to leave. You'll start to feel it to leave because the 5-year-old feels heard, feels understood, feels loved. What people normally do is they feel this fear and this 5-year-old come up and they go out and achieve, thinking once I succeed and get money, clients, income, status, freedom, that'll help the 5-year-old feel better. How neglected would that 5-year-old feel? When you are there sitting there feeling this, the 5-year-old feels understood by the only person that needs to be understood by, and that is you. So feel that. Feel this for as long as it takes, without any conditions. Without any conditions, just feel it. The beautiful part of this work is that when you start to resolve and transcend these patterns by feeling them fully, by being there for that side, you bring light to your darkness. You welcome all of that. I just came off 100 days of meditating 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day, sitting in silence, doing this work. And I can tell you from my experience, when you start to transcend these patterns, these emotions, and whatever's emerging, magic starts to happen. You start to access a level of creativity and flow and alignment, and things just start happening because you've opened a safe enough space for you to access who you really are and what you really are. And that is infinite abundance and infinite possibility. And you access that creativity when you start resolving these internal conflicts. Can you see the difference between feeling the fear and feeling like I need to achieve and avoiding and neglecting this side of you and resisting this side, allowing it to grow unconsciously, compared to feeling it fully? When you feel it fully, it can transcend. And what may happen is that when you transcend that, more will come up. More will come up because you'll be a safe enough space for it to be there. You'll be safe enough for more patterns to emerge that were currently unconscious, that were currently still running your patterns of relationships and decisions and actions and moods. They were still under there, impacting all of that. When you open this safe space, you allow them to transcend. You allow them to come to your conscious awareness. And now you have the pattern that says, I don't need to fight them. I don't need to avoid them. I can feel them. I can love this 5-year-old. I can love this 5-year-old that's emerging and see them and hear them and be in a space where I don't need them to leave. The irony is that once you are in that space, they will transcend. They will transcend. It may take some time. It may take 90 seconds. It may take 90 minutes. It may take 3 days. That's not the point. The point is that you're actually bringing light to your darkness. You're actually bringing light to your darkness. It's powerful. And when you can actually be there and you start to access this flow and this creativity and the space you open up, that's when you start to access more of who you are and what you are. So the challenge in this is to do this exercise. And my challenge to you is to place the connection with yourself as the highest priority. And in order to do that, in order to follow through, I dare you to meditate for as long as you need. I meditate for an hour every morning, and then I follow up with another hour at some point in the day. What time frame can you meditate and sit in silence and do this work before you do anything in your business? That means before anything, before you check your phone, emails, whatever. As you wake up, go to the bathroom, get a glass of water, sit down and do this and watch your mind go crazy with all the shoulds. I should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing that. Right? I should be doing something more productive. I could be doing income generating activities. This is the biggest income generating activity you can do. It is powerful. It is so powerful. And placing it before you do anything in your business, before you do anything in your day, is you telling the universe, telling your unconscious mind that you are placing yourself as the highest priority. So for me, An expansion is to meditate an hour a day, an hour in the morning before I do any work, before I do anything in my business. And trust me, it is one of the most productive things you can do, because when you do that, you drop all of your stories. All your stories of limitation will fall away, will melt away. And you'll just have so much expansive ideas and expansive flow and creativity. And that's when you can start accessing your heart, which is what we'll get into in the next video. But everything will change and everything will start falling into place once you place yourself as the highest priority. That is my challenge to you. If you are up for this, let me know. Let me know. Maybe comment below this video wherever it's posted. Reach out to me. Let me know this is what you're committed to doing. Are you willing to create this consciousness shift? Right? Are you willing to create this shift that's moving from hustle and hard work and strategy, which is not getting people many results and not becoming who they want to become? And are you willing to put the highest priority in the connection with yourself and start to just transcend all of your darkness and live with that, right? Because what you may find is that it's not when I achieve I'll be happy. It's when I'm happy I'll achieve. And I'm sure you can see happy means being acceptance with whatever you feel. It means lowering and reducing your resistance to what you're feeling and just loving all of it, loving those internal sides of you. You will see the difference. When you place this as your highest priority and you do this meditation and you resolve these internal conflicts before you do any work, you will see the changes. So do you want to do this? My challenge to you is do it for an hour. But if it's an expansion for you for a short amount of time, then do that. I'm not the one with the answers, you are. What feels expansive for you? I meditated 6 hours a day when I got started. My first day I did 6 hours and I just melted away all those stories of why I shouldn't do it. And what emerged out of me was something so much more, so much more. I felt like since that day I haven't worked a day in my life. I've just stuck to flow and creativity, and everything else has just come as a byproduct. So that's my challenge to you. Let me know how you go. I'll see you on the next video.